Hi, my name is Justin Milmort, and this is the CNT podcast. For this week, I have two guests. I have Dylan Treagle.
What's up, guys? I'm Dylan, Cards and Coins 14 on Instagram. Thanks for having me, Justin.
Thanks for coming on. And I also have Dylan Zubel.
Dylan Zuber, Rebel Sports Cards on Instagram. Thanks for having me on as well. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. So this week we're doing mid-season awards for the MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year in both leagues. So let's get right on into it. With NL MVP, I have Fernando Tatis Jr. So I have him as he is playing really well with a 1.3 WAR, wins above replacement. He's batting in the high 300s with around almost 20 RBIs, around 10 home runs, and has 5 stolen bases. He's been playing great. And since we're talking about right now, if the season ended today, I had it between him and Blackman. I honestly think they're tied, so I decided to go with who I think will keep it up, which I feel like Tatis would. So that is why I have Fernando Tatis Jr. as my NL MVP.
I also had Fernando Tatis Jr. He's just been tearing it up since his rookie season. Even though the Padres are not doing the best, I still think that he's got high talent, and he's still got that extra step that he can take. Like you said, 8 home runs, 18 RBIs, hitting 300. There's not a lot of people who could do that in their second year in the MLB. Tatis, one of the few.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick. Not many people are choosing this guy, but I'm really taking Bryce Harper as NL MVP. He's batting .350. He's playing amazing. And you look at his transition from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia last season. I didn't think he was that good last year. And for him all of a sudden to take leadership as the player he is and play it how he is right now, I think he's earned it. And that he'll earn MVP, just like how he was in D.C.
I agree. He is playing very well. And that is, I do think that he is up there in the awards. I do think he'll finish in the top 10 for it this year. For NL Cy Young, I have Jacob deGrom. Yes, he's injured. That almost made me switch up my pick, but he's so dominant. He has 28 strikeouts. He's 2-0. Has a 2.5 ERA. And I have him in fantasy, and he's been killing it. And, even with him injured right now, I still think he's going to win the award easily. He's the best pitcher in baseball, and honestly, already is a top 15 pitcher of all time in my eyes, and could very well go down in the top 5. Great pitcher, and he's just dominating, and he'll continue to dominate and win his third straight Cy Young Award this year.
Mine is Sonny Gray, the Cincinnati Reds, or I don't know how you say it, the Nelson Lamet from the Padres. Lamet is 2-1, 36 strikeouts, 159 ERA, and Sonny Gray is 45 strikeouts, 4-1 with a 2 ERA. I think Sonny Gray has just been tearing it up. His last 5 games, he's gone over 5 innings and got at least 7 strikeouts, and all of them 10 plus and 2. I think he's one of the better pitchers that no one talks about in the MLB.
Mm-hmm. Both have been killing it lately.
I think it's a good choice by all of you. Dylan, I think that's really interesting, just how two guys really underhyped, just living it up right now. But my choice, just like Justin's, Jacob deGrom, has been tearing it up. I think he's the most consistent pitcher we've had in the last 5 years. 2-0, 2.45 ERA. He's so underhyped. His stuff is, card-wise, his stuff is so cheap. Mm-hmm. As Justin said, I think he'll go down as the top pitcher of all time. And he's got my choice for Cy Young, as I'm sure he'll win 3 or 5 more in the next 10 years.
Honestly, I could definitely see him winning at least 6 Cy Youngs in his career. He has been the best pitcher in baseball, and he will continue to be so. Yep. And speaking about how his stuff is really cheap, I agree. I used to have a relic of him that I got for almost nothing. I ended up trading it, and I actually traded it for a Dylan Lamet relic out of 99 that has the camo jersey.
I remember that one,
and some other stuff. I still have that Dylan Lamet too. Yeah. So For NL Rookie of the Year, I'm sticking with my bold pick in Nico Hono. I did this a few episodes earlier when I finished the three-part series with the awards. I still think he's going to win it. He's been playing great. Everyone thought that was a dumb pick and that he was not going to win it. He's been playing amazing, and he's been a huge help to the Cubs being so successful. And I honestly think he'll continue to tear it up, and I have him winning Rookie of the Year this year, still.
I have Dustin May, the Dodgers. He, ever since that opening day start, he's been tearing it up. One of the more under-the-radar pitchers in the whole MLB, throws 95 plus, sometimes even hits 100. His sinker is practically unhittable, and he was the, I believe, 23rd ranked prospect, and now he's in the MLB and he's just tearing it up.
He is tearing it up. I do like to watch him. It was very hard for me to pick him or Nico. I went with Nico because he plays almost every day, and May only plays every 5 days. I actually have been trying to get a lot of Dustin May rookies lately, and I still only have 2 or 3. His stuff is not very cheap, and it's hard to get. And some people just want to hold on to it, which is what I want to get multiple so I can trade or sell some of them, but still be able to keep some.
Yeah, Dylan, I think you said that really good. I've got Dustin May as my NL Rookie of the Year. He's 1-1, 2.75 ERA. If you look at it this way, I think he's going to Rookie of the Year. The Dodgers might have the most dominant rotation in the league for the past few years. They've got Kershaw, Buehler, Dustin May, Urias, Ross Stripling. It's so dominant for years to come. I think he's going to become a 1-2-3 punch at starting pitchers for Dodgers. He's got my pick.
Yeah. He could easily win it, but again, I feel like Nico has it because he plays every day. It's hard for a pitcher to win a Rookie of the Year or Comeback Player of the Year or an MVP since they don't play every day. Again, it's super hard for them to do that. That was the main reason why I chose Nico over him. And so for NL Comeback Player of the Year, I have Mookie Betts. I feel like last year he had a down year, he had just come off of a great year, but then had a little slump. And this year he's been absolutely killing it. He just had a 300-run game to put him in his 6th career. He's playing out of his mind. He's helping the Dodgers a lot. Probably is the MVP this year. I feel like he's playing better than Bellinger right now. But he's playing out of his mind. I definitely have him as the Comeback Player of the Year. And could easily see him win MVP too. But I feel like Tatis has the edge on him right now.
Good choice. I also have Mookie Betts. I think that, yes, he was great at the Red Sox, but the big market, the change of scenery, all the little stuff that's helping him. The coaches are a lot better in LA, and it's just players tend to be about 10 times better when they go to LA, New York, places like that. But they're just in these big market teams like that. I have Mookie Betts doing the Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, so for my Comeback Player of the Year, Most Improved Player, I'm not really sure who to put there. I've got a tie between Blackman, and I've also got Hanser Alberto. I think the Orioles are, 12-8 right now. He's batting .345. No one would have suspected him to do any of this. And I think that's just kind of crazy for a team like them, predicted to go bottom dead last in the league, to be 12-8, chasing right behind the Yankees for a playoff spot. I think that's what could give him the final push to become Most Improved.
I could see him winning, and I could also see Blackman winning. Blackman's playing crazy good. He was my second choice for Comeback Player of the Year. I could definitely see him making a push for that and MVP. Honestly, I could see Mookie Betts win Comeback Player of the Year and MVP. I could see Blackman doing it. And I could see maybe Tatis as well doing that. They're my 3 MVPs in the NL right now, and I could see them all winning Comeback Player of the Year as well. They've all taken a huge step forward and playing out of their minds right now. And so for AL MVP, Mike Trout, easy. He's going to win so many. And ever since he became a dad, he's been hitting monster home runs. He's continuing to just make the Angels a good team and put playoff bound. I do think they're going to make playoffs still. He's playing out of his mind. He's hitting a ton of home runs. And it's just Mike Trout. Like, I don't see anyone who can beat him right now in the AL.
I have about 2 or 3 players who I think are valuable of it. I have Mike Trout, Nelson Cruz, and Shane Bieber. No, Mike Trout is above everyone else, but I think that Nelson Cruz being 40, I believe he's 40, and still hitting 440 plus feet home runs is unbelievable. And Shane Bieber, that guy is 27 strikeouts in his first 2 appearances. That man's on a whole other level.
Yeah. They're all playing insane. Definitely 3 of the best players in the AL right now. Love watching all of them play.
Yeah, so for my AL MVP, I've got Trout. I don't really have to say anything to back that up. He's obviously could be, I'd say he's the best player in the league right now of the 2010s and the 2020s. He could go down as a top 10, 15 player of all time, and I think he could win multiple of these awards in the next few years in a row.
I agree. For AL Cy Young, we've already called his name with Dylan being MVP. Shane Bieber, he is right now second best pitcher in baseball. I still feel like DeGrom is better than him, but Shane Bieber's playing out of his mind. He's playing great, and he's just, I don't see anyone who could rival him right now. He's pitching out of his mind.
Yeah, I said Shane Bieber for the Cy Young, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, best pitcher in the AL, top 2, maybe 3 in MLB.
I agree.
Yeah, for my AL Cy Young Award, I've got Garrett Cole, made his transition to the Bronx this summer, 4-0, 2.76 ERA. He's helped. Yankees are going to be World Series probably. He's going to help them win it. If they win the World Series, he'll obviously be a clear winner for the Cy Young Award, and this could go down as a great signing in Yankees history.
I agree. It was hard for me. It was between Bieber and Garrett Cole. I go with Shane Bieber. He's pitching, in my opinion, he's pitching a little better right now. But if team success, if we base it off of that and include that, I do feel like Garrett Cole would have the edge on him just because he has a better team than Shane Bieber does. For AL Rookie of the Year, changing it up from my original prediction in my first video predicting things, Kyle Lewis. Now, people are going to think that's a little weird, maybe a little biased, because Mariners are my second favorite team. But kid is playing out of his mind. He's hitting a ton of home runs. He's leading the AL in hits right now. And he's playing absolutely insane. And I think he could win it. I feel like he's playing a little bit better than Luis Roberts right now. Again, I think Luis could easily come up and take it right back from Kyle. But as of right now, I feel like Kyle Lewis is playing a little bit better than Luis right now.
My AL MVP, no question, Luis Robert. Top 5 prospect in all of baseball. He's been killing it since he got in the big leagues. I believe he's got about 15 hits, maybe something like that. And maybe more. But his glove and arm fielding is unmatched. That's why Luis Robert, AL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, just like Dylan said, I got Luis Robert as my AL Rookie of the Year. I mean, yeah, I'm a Sox fan, but I'm watching every game of the season. One thing he needs to work on, he's swinging at pitches in the dirt sometimes, but when he's not doing that, he's a really good power hitter. He knows what to swing at most of the time. He's getting almost 1 home run a game. And I think it was last week when I checked, I think he was leading the American League in wins above replacement. And I just think he's going to go down as one of the top hitters in the league in the next few years.
Could be. He's a great player. I could see him winning it. But right now, I feel like Kyle has the edge on him. For AL Comeback Player of the Year, another player Zero thought could win MVP, Nelson Cruz. He's, I think, 40, like you said. He's playing absolutely insane right now. He's hitting tanks right now. And he's also getting a lot of RBIs. He's playing greatly. And so I definitely think he has the Comeback Player of the Year locked in.
My Comeback Player of the Year I had was Randy Dobnak. He is also a dark horse for the Cy Young, and he's 3-1 with a less than 1 ERA, 11 strikeouts. But his 2019, he didn't really pitch that much. But when he did pitch, it was not very good. He had an 18 ERA in a couple games that he pitched, and that wasn't even postseason. In the regular season, he had a good ERA, but I think that once he became a starter in the Twins rotation, his numbers have been off the chart, and he is one of the dark horse, Cy Young, and under the radar pitchers, one of the better MLB has seen.
He is taking a big step forward. I agree with that.
Yeah, so my AL comeback player of the year, I got Nelson Cruz. As you guys already said a few times, the guy's 40 years old. He's hitting nukes. Looks like he's got 5 more years left. And this wasn't even planned, but I just literally just put on my Nelson Cruz shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it wasn't even planned. I just genuinely was wearing it. I thought that was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I had I totally forgot about this, but came up in my mind just now. Another comeback player of the year I had was Donovan Solano from the Giants.
I thought of him too.
He's been tearing it up. He had like a 20, maybe like a 10-game hit streak going. I don't know if it's still alive, but from a guy who's on the Giants, not a big market stuff, he's definitely been getting a lot of media attention because the Giants are not that good, and he's balling out.
Yeah, the guy was pretty sure he was a top prospect. I think 10 years ago. He was a bust. He was on the Yankees, got released by them. He's on a few teams, got released. So just that story is pretty cool to see him finally living up to the hype.
Yeah. Before we close things out, who do you guys all have winning the World Series? I have the Chicago Cubs. They're playing great. I think they're going to continue to play great, and they're going to push for that World Series championship this year. Number 4.
Bias Twins because they're also playing great. Non-bias Yankees or Dodgers. All 3 teams, some of the top in baseball. I believe the Yankees are 10-0 at home. Twins are 7-1, and they're all just blowing out at home and away.
They could both easily win it. I agree.
Yeah, mine, not really sure. I'm thinking either probably Yankees, Dodgers, or Cubs. The only thing is, Cubs, I think they stand a chance, but they definitely need I think they need better relief pitching and maybe a better 4th or 5th starter. So if they can get that for the deadline on the 31st, I think that's what it is. I think they'll have a chance. But as of right now, I'm taking the Dodgers.
Okay, I agree with what you're saying about the Cubs needing better pitching. However, our starters have been amazing so far. Hendricks has been great, had 1 bad game, so he's been solid. Lester's been great. Darvish has been great. Quintana has been solid. And then for relief pitching, I fully agree we need a lot better relief pitching. However, Jeremy Jeffries has been really good for us so far. Everyone thought he was not going to be the best, but he's been playing really well right now. And I could definitely see him continuing to shine. And so our pitching has been doing a lot better than it has last year.
I didn't have a chance to see the game today, but how did Colin Ray pitch?
He pitched solid. We lost in extra innings, though.
What was his, how many runs did he have? How many innings?
I don't know. I wasn't able to watch the whole game. I only tuned in the 8th inning because I had other stuff going on. So I'm not fully sure. I also haven't looked at the stats yet.
Okay.
So I'd have to check on that.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is just like how I know Ray was playing AAA last year, I think that if he can play pretty solid, I think they could maybe take Quintana out of the rotation and trade him away for relief pitching because I know Colin Ray, he was a pretty good prospect and he had an amazing season in AAA last year. So I'd like to definitely see him take over as a 5th or 4th starter.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
So, again, big thank you to Dylan Zebo and Dylan Trader for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Big thanks for y'all watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.